Happy Sunday, you too! It's been a good day. I decided to venture off back to the church that I went to last Sunday. I tell you what, it's a good feeling, church. You know, I ain't gonna lie, church service today, during the ceremony and all that, it was a little slow. You know, I looked at my clock a few times. But then there was a point towards the last 20 minutes, I guess we were doing a prayer. And the preacher requested that everybody put their hands spread or out for the Lord. And I just did it. And then I put my head down. And the preacher was saying a prayer. I don't remember what it was at this time. But that was the first time ever in church that I stuck my arms out. And I didn't really put them out, like waving them in the air. But I held them down to my side at the preacher's request. It didn't seem odd for me to do it because he asked everybody to stick their arms out. So I just did because he requested. You know, granted, people do this stuff all the time naturally during these church services. But at that one particular time and moment, I stuck my hands out and it was cool. I actually had a moment. I felt as if, you know, I was having some special connection. It felt good. But then fast forward to that, church is over, I'm grabbing my stuff, and then this lady, Trixie, she walks up, said, "Hey, have you had a chance to meet the pastor yet?" At the end of church, all the new members supposed to come up and kind of introduce herself to the pastor. The pastor kind of talks to you for a second. And I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really care to do that. But Trixie or Karen, one of them kind of insisted, so I was like, okay. So I was over there standing over at this table waiting for the person that was in front of me that was meeting the pastor. And then Trixie, she said, "Hey, do I play softball? She asked me if I wanted to play softball." And I was kind of like, yeah, I'd really like to play softball because I'm an athletic dude. I know all y'all know that by now. I'm a very athletic guy. So I was asked to play softball and I was excited. And because I kind of wanted to play, but because I heard them talking about it during the last church service, but I was like, I can't be the new guy that just showed up the first day. Yeah, I like to play sports, but you probably got to be baptized and So anyways, but she kind of insisted I go in there and sign up and this and that, and I was just kind of like, well, okay, cool. So anyways, I didn't meet the pastor. I actually got shuffled into this softball meeting room at church, which was cool. And I was super social in there, friendly. I mean, I was lighting up the room. I could tell. Not to take any of the enlightenments from the Lord, but it was good. It was really good, engaging. And then apparently a lot of people after church was going to go eat at Laredo's. I was asked if I wanted to join this or that. So I mean, it was like the love was strong and it was powerful. It really was. So it was cool to get invited. It was cool to be invited. It was a house of love. And I ain't gonna lie, again, leaving church, I feel really good. Topped it off with some Waffle House. But now we're gonna continue on our Sunday. It's 1 o'clock. Gonna head to the house. Gonna be slowly working my way to the gym. And, work on critiquing the body a little bit. I got me a mug from the church. This was kind of like in a little welcoming bag. It also came with a large chocolate chip cookie, a couple small candy bars, which I gave the cookie and the candy bars and all that fatty, sugary stuff to the kids. Let them enjoy that. I did get the coffee mug. But yeah, we gonna keep it moving and grooving, baby. This is gonna be a daily Sunday in the life and what we doing. In the meantime, we gonna see you shortly. Stay tuned. Oh, well, after church, decided we'll take a little quick nap, and that being said, that tick nap turned into about an hour, 25-minute nap. So y'all know what? I woke up and I decided, you know what? We gotta keep it moving. Let's hit the gym. Let's get our pre-workout shake. Let's get it going. That's what we're gonna do. Gonna keep it moving. This was my church outfit earlier. We're gonna pop this bad boy back on. We're gonna continue on the day. It is Sunday. Didn't have any work today. It is a little chilly. It's a little chilly outside today. So, you know, the outside, although it is very sunny, it's just, it's a little cool for my taste. Y'all know I'm a summer baby, and I appreciate the heat. And just right now, I actually turned the heat on in the house today. It was just a little too chilly for me. Folks, I ended up getting me this little tripod here, which I am still trying to figure out how to navigate. Excuse me, I'm trying to work it, but which this is totally an upgrade. Totally an upgrade from what I was previously using. So what we got to do here, since we're about to go to the gym, we've got to go ahead and get our Hyde Signature pre-workout concoction together. One scoop like so. We're going to lower this down a little bit so y'all can see what the hell we got going on here. So we got our one scoop in here of this pre-workout. Get some of that good old Walmart 100% creatine monohydrate. Scoop of that. Put a nice scoop of that there. This is our little filter here. Oh man. Yes, we're about to go ahead. We got a little thing of water here. We're gonna throw all this pre-workout goodness like so. Add a little more water to this bad boy. Alright, we got some water in there. And folks, this is what we're gonna do. Now I want y'all to stay tuned because this is gonna be there's gonna be another scene coming up here shortly. When I mean shortly, it could be in the next minute or two. However, these videos tie in together, but we're actually building up to the dinner time, as we're going to be making tabbouleh. We're going to be making ground chicken and rice with tabbouleh. If y'all don't know anything about tabbouleh, y'all fixing to have to watch this and see how this comes together. Now, tabbouleh is the salad that they sell at the gyro restaurants. It's not the, you get a gyro, you get an option of either lettuce, what they call salad, or you can get tabbouleh. So here in just a few shakes, we're gonna be back in the kitchen chopping it up. But first, we're gonna hit the gym. Keep it moving. Just left the gym, and I just wanted to hop on here before we get to making tabbouleh. Just left the gym. Life is good, folks. Life is good. Now, like I told you, if you'll be keeping track, ever since March March 14th or 15th to be exact, was the day that I departed ways with my girlfriend, and among other things that was happening at the time. And interestingly, it caused me to, I just haven't had any desire to go to casino. I just didn't like the feeling of when you go to casino, you lose and you feel bad. And I guess after the breakup, since I felt bad for that week or so, I didn't want to do anything that would cause me to feel bad. And going to the casino was one of them. Even though that's always been a luxury and a joy of mine, you know, it comes with a cost. Meaning I would go, and the ride up there would be absolutely amazing. Walking in the doors, amazing. Getting my first couple cocktails is amazing. Sitting at a machine is amazing. But the story was always the same at the end. I would lose. And when that lose would happen, reality would set in. And it just didn't feel good, right? It felt bad. No one likes to lose. And, you know, but for some reason I treated going to the casino as a luxury and a celebration. But my twisted mind converted a celebration into a loss followed by a feeling bad. But interesting, after I broke up with girlfriend, for some reason I just haven't had any desire. So now we are a month later, and I still haven't been to the casino. And you know, and financially I'm in a great spot. I mean, between the stock market and you know, invoiced amount to my customers, I mean, I've gained value by almost $9,000 or $10,000 in the last 7 days. Now, granted, my gambling habit was not that high, but what has happened is I'm stacking my wins. Where I've always won, I've always stacked wins. And I ain't talking about in the casino, I'm talking about in life in general. I'm always a winner. But I would always take my wins and turn it into a celebration, which would equal into a loss. But as of now, I've taken the losing situations out of my life, and now all I'm doing is filling the wins. And that's where we at right now. Like I said, we just left the gym. I ain't gambled in a month. Like I said, that was not exactly my plan. I just haven't had any desire, so I'm taking that momentum. And like I said, if y'all watch my other videos, I'm talking about the stuff that I had on my whiteboard, which I'm talking in my mind. I had things on my whiteboard that was consuming my time that just really wasn't benefiting me. That was, I guess, creating more harm than good. But now that I have scrubbed those two sores off my whiteboard, I'm talking about girlfriend and the casino somehow's got wiped off the whiteboard. I've been able to fill those holes on that whiteboard with church, joining like Stoics of Nashville, other things where generally, you know, I work for myself, I get a lot of free time. Historically, when I would get bored, first thing pop in my mind if I had some money was, hey, let's go to casino. But here as the last month, now when I get bored, I go to the gym. I found other things to do and consume my time, which is great. Thank you, Jesus. You know what I mean? Can't do it without the Lord. But that's where we at. I just wanted to hop on here and talk about that. Now we stacking wins. We're stacking wins. We stacking wins. We fix be making Tabbouleh here in about. Oh, hey. Just in time for the cooking show. We're making ground chicken with white rice and the cool recipe that you guys are going to learn today is Tabbouleh salad, which is, if you're up to this point in the video, you already know what Tabbouleh salad is. It's like Greek salad. Right here, we're just getting the rice started. Using my new tripod, which I'm pretty excited about. That's a lot of rice there. I think that will be, we got 2 pounds of chicken, so I think that's a good amount. We can always add more. This is yours truly, straight from, I'm not a sponsor, Food Lion. Let's do it. Add a little water to here. I don't know if I'm supposed to wait till that water gets hot before I dump that in there. I don't know, but we're okay. Like I said, we're in a calorie deficit, so I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat. All right. So while that is cooking, we need to get the ground chicken cooking. Biggest disappointment pan I ever bought. And I do not, if y'all know me at all, which I guess y'all do, there's people across the world, I guess viewing me, all 6 of you. I was in need of a pan, and this one said non-stick. And I was really excited about that because the pan I've got is probably 20 years old. I mean, everything I put on there, it just sticks. Okay? And, you know, so here's our pan. I paid $16 for that pan, and everything sticks to it. Now, I'm sure there's some stuff to spray on there, canola oil and things along those lines, but I'm not an accessory guy, which I should be a better accessory guy, then I probably wouldn't have those issues, but I don't have canola oil spray, not yet, but I'm going to make a mental note of that. If I had a shopping list, and I'm a list guy, I would have that on there. All right, but we got 2 pounds of ground chicken. 92% lean. We're going to drain some of that fat off of it too. So I think we can get this to about 95% lean. With this cooking, any of those juices that come off this chicken is going to be fat. So we're in a calorie deficit. We're trying to work on this. We're trying to work on this 6-pack this here, and I still got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. But it starts by eating lean. And that's what this is about. And I've been in a calorie deficit all day. I did after church. I did go to Waffle House. So I ate a pretty heavy breakfast. But that's pretty much all I've eaten today. Except I had one protein shake. So I had a Waffle House. I actually had chicken. I had 2 sunny side up eggs. 2 pieces of Raisin Bran toast. And some hash browns with a slice of cheese on it. I didn't ask for the slice of cheese, but the waitress came up to me and she was like, is it okay if there's cheese on your hash browns? Because they messed up back there in the kitchen. And she said, I'm not going to charge you for it. And then I was like, sure, go ahead and include the cheese. Why not? So that's what we did. All right, so there's 1 pound. Here's the 2nd pound. 2 pounds ground chicken. 2 pounds of ground chicken. Throw these suckers away. The rice is in here cooking. The ground chicken in there is heating up. Got to get a good thing to. We're gonna use this thing, this little spoon right here. It's already half melted. That ain't dirt. That's just where it's been burnt and melted. But listen, I'm not a accessory guy, so I didn't buy this all this stuff, right? We're gonna go ahead and get that going. We got that on level 6. I don't know how hot that means it is, but it's at level 6. So we're going to let that do its thing. In the meantime, we're going to redirect that camera down below. We're going to redirect that camera down below because we're going to see about making this tabbouleh. So actually, I might even just rotate. Like I said, I got this new tripod, folks. And y'all don't know what this is ultimately doing. Yeah, we all right with that. We'll work with that. Like I said, this is a I don't know what kind of channel. So we a cooking channel, we a stock channel, we a making money channel, we're about to keep it moving channel. And we're gonna keep this channel moving. So here we go. Get a nice plate. We got the plate right there. So the next step, the first step of making this tabbouleh salad, you want to get the parsley. Parsley is the ingredient. Parsley is the salad part of the tabbouleh salad. Yeah, you want to rinse that off. So that's the first thing we're going to do. I like tabbouleh salad. I really like I said, anytime I went to the gyro places, I always ask for tabbouleh salad. Like I said, so we got the parsley in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this tripod over here a little closer, and we're gonna actually. I know y'all are gonna be upset, but y'all ain't gonna be able to see my face, but that's okay because we're gonna go on down here, and we're going to start looking at the process of making tabbouleh salad. All right, all these ingredients came from Food Lion. I'm not a sponsor of Food Lion. I'm not a sponsor of Food Lion, but let me tell you about some Food Lion. So I got some bread at Food Lion that had a little piggy on it. Matter of fact, let me show it to you. I eat wheat bread because actually I was comparing the macros, actually the same as white bread. But anyways, this bread right here, it's got a pig on it, and it's called cha-ching. I love saying it. I'm so happy about that bread. It's called cha-ching. Just crazy name for bread, which I mean, it just means, I guess it's the cheap bread, which that's my favorite bread, cheap bread. I was telling my neighbor, I said, because he used to work at Food Lion, I said, man, what's your favorite bread over at the Food Lion? And he said, he didn't really know, he didn't know how to answer that. What's your favorite bread, Somebody asked me what's my favorite bread. Well, I do know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say my favorite bread is cha-ching. But that's what it is. So we cutting this parsley up. Since this is going to be the greenery in our tabbouleh salad. This is going to be the greenery in our tabbouleh salad. I hate to waste the stems because I don't like to waste anything, folks. But when we holding nothing but sticks in our hands, we probably gonna toss those. I think that's probably pretty good right there. Yeah, we're gonna toss the rest of that. Although I hate wasting things, but we're gonna throw that away. All right. So we're gonna chop this up a little bit. Like I said, I'm not a chef. Okay, but what I have been doing in my adult life, ever since I was 22 years old, is I've always cooked for myself. I've never had a woman live with me and cook for me, other than my mom. Now, my mom's in heaven, and she would totally be all about this tabbouleh salad. She'd be proud of a boy making tabbouleh salad. She ain't here. She's looking down right now, I'm sure. And I'm sure she's probably like, dang, my son sure, look at him making that tabbouleh salad. Because she used to like gyros. Some people say gyros. I've always said gyros because I didn't know what the actual name was. But anytime I got a gyro, that lamb meat, once I tasted, my taste buds hit this tabbouleh, I never ordered lettuce again with my gyro. I was just always, let me get some tabbouleh instead of lettuce. And so I kind of acquired that taste back in the early 2000s. It's kind of an acquired taste. It's kind of a taste. There's nothing else quite tastes like tabbouleh. I mean, it's healthy. You see it's nice and green. This is just a fantastic addition that we're going to put on top of our, you know, our plain white rice. Rice don't have a lot of flavor. The ground chicken, I mean, it don't really, I mean, it don't have a whole lot of flavor, right? But we, you know, when you in a calorie deficit and you all about substance, it ain't always about flavor. So one benefit we're going to have with Tabbouleh packs a punch. And I love the taste. So it's going to be a great addition. I don't know what macros are in here or what the nutrition is here, but it's bright green. So that just lets me know there's a lot of nutrition in this. We're going to stir this chicken real quick. Of course, it's sticking all to the pan as expected. It is. We're going to give that a little stir here. Let y'all see that, because we don't want y'all to miss a beat, right? We cooking, so my hamburger, this stuff, we got to catch up here. And my rice is actually, the water seems already disappeared, so damn, that rice is coming on quick. So we're going to hack this up right here. Okay. Y'all can see what we're working with here. So yeah, so we're gonna get that ground chicken. Like I said, I didn't put any seasoning or anything in here. I might put some seasoning in there, I don't know. But the truth of the matter is the Tabbouleh is going to overpower all this stuff. The Tabbouleh is going to give it that cool. To me, it feels like I'm eating, like I'm at the gyro restaurant. That's what it feels like to me. And I like gyro stuff. I really like that. But the Tabbouleh is what sets that off. And you'll see once we make our plate, I actually put ranch dressing on it. Why? Well, when I'm at the gyro place, and I'm eating that lamb meat on top of that rice, on top of that Tabbouleh, I always get a side cup of ranch or, you know, cucumber sauce or whatever. But that ranch and that Tabbouleh combo on top of this, man, this makes this taste very good. And I mean very good. What we got going on here? Yeah, that rice is cooking pretty good. We actually probably going to turn that off. Now we're going to turn that rice off, and what we're going to do with that is we're going to put the lid on that, let that kind of steam, because that's rice. We want that to kind of steam up. So anyway, we're going to go back to the Tabbouleh here. All right, we're going to let this ground chicken cook a little bit more. We're going to turn that down a little bit because it's kind of throwing me out of whack. And you don't want to get thrown out of whack when you're trying to cook something amazing. All right, so here we go. We back to the Tabbouleh. Another ingredient to this Tabbouleh salad. It said Roma tomato, so we're gonna wash a Roma tomato. We might do 2 Roma tomatoes. I don't know. Gotta have some room though. Gotta have some room. All right, we're gonna cut this Roma tomato. I mean, it's gonna get cut in little pieces, so we're gonna go ahead and get that cut down. You can cut this tomato any way you want. Any way you want. Because at the end of the game, it's going to get chopped up and put in this parsley. So we're going to cut that up. I know y'all ain't getting a good visual of what's happening here, but I'm just cutting a tomato. And I'm sure y'all cut a tomato before, so y'all know what that looks like. It's not a pretty sight, especially if you got a steak knife, and that's what I'm using. I'm sure if I was a real chef, or if there was a real chef here, he would probably give me a funny look because I'm using a steak knife. Alright, but he ain't here, and I don't care. So that's what we doing. We're going to chop that up, keep chopping that up a little bit in smaller pieces, because we want this tomato to mix in. We want this tomato to mix in with this, with what we've got going on over here, which is goodness. Nice and colorful, reds and greens. And I mean, it ain't Christmas time, but it sure feels like it. Alright, so we got that, right? We're going to go ahead and kind of start mixing this in. Now, it's probably, I could use I'm using my hands. Y'all, I'm not going to use my hands. I already did, but we're going to use this spoon here just because for y'all the video. Now, granted, I probably don't even want to eat this stuff, but still, it don't, you know, whatever. My hands are clean. My hands are clean. And they're covered with tomatoes and tabbouleh. Well, it's not tabbouleh yet, but it's working on its way. We gotta get these tomatoes a little softer. I'm hearing some things making noise behind me there. How many tomatoes did I get? We got one more tomato. Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and chop this other tomato up too. We'll chop up a little bit of tomato. I use the other ones for my salads. We're gonna just keep cutting up some tomato in this. Everything's clean, folks. I know y'all sitting here like, man, this man's got food going everywhere. But it's alright. We're cutting up this Roma. I mean, actually, if you Google the recipe, it actually says Roma tomatoes. So I actually got some Roma tomatoes. I got the parsley. But there's a couple more key ingredients in here that we haven't gotten to yet. Because we're going to end up putting this in a bowl here very quickly. And I mean very quickly. It's about time for it to be in a bowl. Alright. Alright. So there's that. The next step of the tabbouleh. Fresh garlic. We got some fresh garlic here, folks. We're going to take a couple cloves there. We're going to take a couple cloves of these garlics. I mean, I don't know how much garlic to put in there. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with what feels right. But in the meantime, I mean, I got to race against time over here because I need to stir this. We're going to have to go back over here and we're going to do some stirring back on this chicken because we got other things going on too, folks. We got to stay on top of it. See, we got that 2 pounds of ground chicken. And what really, there's I mean, what an amazing thing. I swear, ground chicken wasn't around 10 to 15 years ago. But let me tell you about ground chicken, especially as high as beef is these days. I mean, you get a pound of beef for almost $10 to $12 for a pound of beef. Make you 4 hamburgers. Ground chicken, I can get a pound of ground chicken for $3 to $4 at Food Line. And that don't just work out for me because it's cheap and I'm a cheapskate. That works out for me because it fits right into my low-fat, calorie deficit requirements of what I'm deciding to do right now, of the transformation of my body by being in this calorie deficit. So this doesn't pack a whole lot of calories. It don't pack a whole lot of, I mean, it packs a good amount of calories because it's meat, but I'm just saying it's not saturated with fat. We're going to keep chopping that up a little bit because we actually, believe it or not, are pretty close to be able to make a plate here. We're going to chop that up, keep chop. Alright. Back to the tabbouleh. Alright, so we back here. I got the first clove here. I like this garlic flavor. I mean, I like garlic. I think anybody that cooks, garlic is important. And I'm sure you professionals out there, if there's a professional watching me cook, I'm sure put it in the comments a better way to go about peeling the garlic, slicing the garlic, smashing the garlic, or whatever. I don't really get any comments on my videos. But when I do get excited. Now, that don't happen very often. I enjoy watching my videos, as I will enjoy watching this one. So we got 2 Carlos right there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and just start slicing this into really thin slices. What I'm going to call very thin slices. Yeah, this stuff's just, you see, it's just little bitty thin slices we hear. I mean, as thin as slices as a steak knife is going to get me. There we got a big old clove there. And you know, there ain't, like I said, there ain't a certain amount put in there. You just kind of put in what you feel. You know, whatever you feel. That's the main point. Just do what you feel. Some of those garlics are a little big, so I'm going to, once I go through these, slimming these down here, I'm going to probably cut some of these up a little bit smaller. That way there'll be an equal balance of garlic throughout. But again, this is only the second time I've made this. Only the second time. And there's more ingredients. There's another ingredient to this. There's 2 more ingredients to this. Well, there's actually several different ways to make it. But our way that we're going to do it today, there's 2 ingredients that we're about to do here. 2 more ingredients left. Alright, so we're about in the position now. We're going to transfer this over into a bowl. We need something good to put that in. Stir this chicken up a little bit more there. I mean, my body is ready to eat. I mean, we just left the gym. We killed it on the back and shoulders. Dang. That's what I'm talking about. Figuring out a good, what I want to, yeah, that's what we're good. That's what we're going to put our tabbouleh in. We got a nice Tupperware. That way it'll automatically be, look at that big old stick. I hope I ain't got too many sticks in there. Now let's just try to do this without making a huge mess, can we? I know y'all are like, this guy right here. Well, that's fine. This is my process. But the end game's going to be on my plate and in my belly. Alright. It kind of has a Tabbouleh vibe about it already. Alright. You rate all this in there like so. Folks, have you caught track of the ingredients? If I did I not tell you something yet about the ingredients? So right now, if y'all have been following, to make this Tabbouleh salad, we are at parsley, fresh garlic, and Roma tomatoes currently. Right? Fresh parsley, Roma tomatoes, fresh garlic. What's next? Glad you asked. Next is extra smooth virgin olive oil. Some people use this as salad dressing. I guess that's kind of what we're about to do. So we're going to put a little bit of that in there. Alright. We're going to let that mix up just a little bit there. Man, that's a big old chunk of tomato. I don't know, how did that big chunk of tomato not get cut up? Unbelievable. It's alright, we're going to slice it down. It ain't in its finished form yet, so it ain't quite ready for presentation, but it's sure looking pretty. That's a big old stick. Throw these sticks out of there too. I'm curious, does it taste like tabbouleh yet? yet. It doesn't quite taste like tabbouleh yet. What is this? Put a little bit more of that in there. A little bit more of that. I think we got enough of that. And this might be, start that chicken up one more time. The chicken looks about ready. Alright. Big ingredient here. Last ingredient. I hope this is the last ingredient. Lemon. Fresh squeezed lemon. I guess this is what's going to I guess the combination. Now I could be completely wrong here, because I ain't gonna lie, I just tasted that tabbouleh. Now I ain't added this last ingredient, and it's pretty, but it doesn't have that that amazing flavor yet that I'm looking for. So I'm hoping this is what brings it together. So we're gonna squeeze these fresh lemons in here, like so. Lemons, I think if you are in other countries, especially in your Caribbean, Spanish cultures, I believe they call limes lemons, and they might call lemons limes. I don't really know. Y'all comment below if you do know, because educate me. I don't want to call these wrong every time. Alright, we're gonna mix that in, and I hope this tastes like I want it to taste. I'm gonna give that a good little mix. See what this tastes like. That's it. That's it. It's a good taste. Very good. Very good. Now so that's where the finished product come out. Like I said, we're actually about ready to make a plate. You see, this video has been going on for 28 minutes, so I guess it takes 28 minutes to cook. The rice is done. Rice is nice and fluffy. The ground chicken's ready. So what we're going to do is, we're going to come over here. We're going to make us a plate. You know, a lot of whiteness here, right? Not this. You can tell this course needs color. We got a great protein here. This is lots of good low-fat protein. We got some good white rice. It's good health. It's a healthier alternative carb, healthier than say potato chips or anything along those lines. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make us a plate. See what this looks like. Like I said, this obviously took about 28 minutes. Some people may be able to do it a little faster. Some people may do it a little slower. But there's our rice. Good little, nice little healthy portion of rice there. We're going to top that up with some ground chicken. Ain't gonna stun on the protein, because we like this protein, baby. That's good. Good amount of protein. Now we're gonna add some tabbouleh. This is what's gonna make this pop. It's gonna make it more colorful. We're going to add some of that tabbouleh salad on here. Healthy alternative, folks. This meal cost me, that box of rice I paid $3 for. I didn't use a third of it for this recipe. And look at there. Look at there. Put a little bit more of that tabbouleh on there. Turn this chicken off. We don't want to lose our chicken. But yeah, that's what it is. But we ain't done yet. There's another key ingredient I like to add on top of this. And then you tell it's looking pretty. Oh, back to the cost. Now, I already had the olive oil. I did buy the chicken. Like I said, I paid $3 a pound. So I got 2 pounds for $6. I got a big old thing of rice here. I still got two-thirds of that box. That box cost me about $3. The parsley, I paid really like $1. The Roma tomatoes, I probably paid about $2. Garlic, I mean, that don't cost nothing. Literally, this meal right here, I spent about $13. Folks, I'm going to eat off this chicken, rice, and tabbouleh for at least today and tomorrow. And my daughter's going to eat off of it too, today and tomorrow. I don't know if she'll get as big a plate as me, but what I'm saying is, this is a healthy, lean alternative. But now we're going to add a key ingredient to bring all this together and tie it all in. Y'all know I shop at Food Lion. You're like, oh no, B-Lane, you're going to ruin your six-pack putting that ranch on there. It's okay, I've been in a calorie deficit all day. And this is light ranch. 80 calories per serving, 2 tablespoons. We're just going to put a little bit of that ranch across the top of it like that. Just a little bit. And we're going to put that ranch back in the fridge like so. And we're going to give this a shot. We're going to give this a shot. Here's the presentation. As you see, it looks very, if you're into this type of stuff, then you know this looks good. Nice little combination there. Get some of that tabbouleh, get some of that chicken, get some of that ranch. Let's see what it looks like. That's the taste I was looking for, folks. That is the taste. That is the taste. I love that taste. The tabbouleh salad is what sets this whole meal off. It's very nutritious, very healthy, very lean, lots of protein, good carbs, and you top it off with that green tabbouleh salad, folks. That's what you're doing. Thanks for watching. Keep it moving.